Brothers and sisters, once again I'm back. Uh, my name is Rudolph King. As we continue with part two, the last time I spoke about the media. The medias must play a proper role in this conflict in between Ukraine and Russia. Give us the right information, feed us with the right information, please. Because remember, wherever you will give us as information, that's what we will take and believe. Be a professional. Don't give us false information, because those same information will follow your future. Remember, in any career, it's very important to leave a good legacy. So, okay, that was my message to the media, because things seems to be a little bit mixed up. But I hope you guys sitting there in the studio, I hope you're doing the right thing. Because the wrong information you'll give, that's what will make the issue, the conflict, more worse. Play your part, but play in a good side. Play in the right way. Do not be emotional. Be professional. Give us the right information, not the false one. Okay, now we go back to the past again, and I would like to speak about the USA. When they talk about violation of human rights, what example can you give us? America is well known for brutality. The world knows America for police brutality. I really wonder, you haven't fixed the problem, the issue you have in America yet for centuries. But you're running up and down to try and fix other countries' problems. Start first where you are. Start first in your country. Fix the issue of black and white. Fix the issue of police brutality. Then you can tell the people what to do, what is wrong and right. We see how you treat black people in America. Black people have been treated like animals, especially when they get stopped by the police, by the law enforcement. The treatment they get is like They are unhuman. There you are running up and down in any other countries, gathering people and talking about peace. How do you treat your fellow black American in America? How do you treat them? America is very good in hiding its bad side because they want people to see around the world that America is like a paradise. Well, America is one of the country where bad things always happen, where bad treatment always happen. I rather see Canada talk about peace, but not America, because Canada is a country which is well known for peace and prosperity. Canada is a country where people don't even talk much wrong side about. Not America. The way you treat the black foreigners, the way you treat the black American in America, the way you insult them, you disgrace them. But those are the people who fought for you in Vietnam. They paid a big price. But at the end, it's always white privilege. You there running up and down, destroying other countries, making hatred when America is a jealous country. The government is very bad. The American government is very bad. They're running up and down around the world destroying people's countries. America cannot talk about peace because they are a bad example for that. We can even see how he's motivating people about the conflict of Ukraine and Russia. He's really pushing so hard to divide them. It's just unfortunately that the Ukrainian government are not seeing that. But you know, everything always takes time to realize who's your friend and who's your enemy. I don't think Russia can be an enemy of Ukrainians, because if you look at the history, they have the same history. They have almost the same belief, the same doctrine. And the NATO, with its government of USA, running up and down, oppressing Russia. The EU gathering themselves to oppress only one country. Likely that Russia is not like Africa. They have almost everything to defend themselves. They are pushing by all means to see how they can destroy Russia. I don't agree the way The Russians have taken part of Ukraine, but in some reason, the USA and the EU are one of the problems who made them to move to that level. I can see the jealousy of America. They don't like countries who do better than them. Look, now they are trying to implicate China. America is always everywhere trying to look for trouble, trying to push, even if you try to avoid them, but they come to you. They don't like other countries to do better than them. They don't want that. They just want to be the super in the world. This is the example to show that some country just want other nation to be in poverty, not to prosper. Many of us are too blind to see that, what America is doing around the world. They have too much privilege everywhere they go. Everything they do bad, they get privilege for that. They had privilege to destroy Iraq. They had privilege to destroy Libya, which was doing much, much far better than America. Because it's in Africa, they use that opportunity to destabilize, to destroy that country. Every time when they go somewhere, if they see that that country is becoming too powerful, they make sure to put it down, to destroy it. They create a war, they create conflict until that country will go down. Then they start to relax. Then you hear them say, we have done it. Creating poverty everywhere. If America was a super, why they don't want to accommodate their neighbors, Mexico, Colombia, Puerto Rico, why they don't want to accommodate them? Why they have such a heavy immigration border in those frontiers? Why? They can go anywhere. They go and fish anybody, even a president from another country, destroy that president, destroy that country, nobody talk. Nobody stop them. But once they see somebody is doing the same thing like them, it become a problem. Now you see what does it mean to get in somebody's country, destroy and kill their citizens. Do you see how it feels? Because when you went to America, you didn't see that. When you went to Libya, you didn't see that. I speak much about Libya because it's part of my continent. You have done us too much wrong and you keep doing too much wrong to us. In the DRC, you're feeding rebellions with arms and ammunition to fight the government so that You people can enjoy taking all the resources of that country. You make sure that there mustn't be peace so that you can have full control of all the mineral. Nobody can dare that in your country. You make sure you control the government of another country. You make sure you tell them what to do, how to run the country, how to treat their people. Now you're starting to join the EU, start to join forces to create their own army now. What is really going on? Germany has invested a lot of billions to create a strong army. France also is in. England. What do you people really want to do to us? And you keep going around the backyard talking about peace. America and Europe are the problem of this world. If the world doesn't have peace, it's because of those two continents, America and Europe. Those two continents are the problem in this world. When people are thinking of how to make a living, they are thinking of creating a strong army, creating heavy weapons to defend against who? We don't know. They are busy focusing on creating a nuclear weapon. For who? We don't know. You should know. The more weapon you create, at the end of the day, you have to use it. You cannot create something which you cannot be able to use. So you have to understand that's how the game goes. Whatever you create is to be used one day. Against who? We don't know. But remember, someday your own weapon can be used against your own people. Because the day you'll get no one to use it for, you will end up testing it in your own people. That's why this leader of the world, they are dictators. They're creating sin everywhere they go, creating sin. Because they have the power of weapon, which anybody who will dare them, they will use it for. And the citizens of the world are giving them that opportunity to make the world insecure. You keep judging people. Who are judging you? Who or who will judge you? You tell me. And you coming and talking about human right. Which human right? If you have a value of human right, you are not supposed to create a weapon to destroy them. Because those weapons you are creating, those armies, those people you are recruiting, you have to use them. Because you cannot recruit them for nothing. You cannot pay them for no reason. What are you preparing? What is the next move now? For many, many years, you keep terrorizing the world. America and Europe, you keep terrorizing the world. If there's no peace in this world, it's because of you. Your wrongdoing. Your smart evil doing. And everything you're doing, every bad thing you're creating, you make sure that everybody must consume it. You force people to consume it. You came with gay right, you came with lesbian right, you came with what is the problem with America and Europe? What is the problem? How you want to turn this world? How miserable you want to turn this world? You are born from two genetic, men and women. Then you come with an evil mind to say men and men, women with women. Now, how are we going to multiply this world? I'm not against those people because they are just mind set. Their mind has been manipulated. They need help. It's a psychological problem. It's This is a serious issue. Nobody wants to talk about this. Nobody wants to talk about this. The moment you start to talk about it, then it becomes a problem. Very soon a man and a tree will get married. Or they will be partners. Going around the world, forcing other governments to join those ideas. Everything always starts from Europe and America. Everything, all the bad doing. When they finish to experience there, they sent it in Africa. Sometimes too much right can bring wrong. The education our children is going in the wrong way. Our children behaviors are changing, getting to worse. Today we have child criminals, children who are criminals. Today we have children who are even aggressing their teachers at school. Those are the things never used to happen. In your time, in our time, but you let that to happen in our children's time. What is the message? Is to destroy the children's future. Because today, a child can become anything he wants. Even being a criminal, because too much right can bring a child's behavior to become a criminal. When they talk about life orientation, we didn't have that in our time. But today, there's a life orientation. And that life orientation means a lot. There is so many meanings in life orientation. That's when our children become a problem. It's okay to be a lesbian. It's okay to be a gay. How? How does it that okay? And who always come with those mind is always the leader of the world. Wherever suit them, they give to the small people. They give an order to the world. Keep creating weapons, keep creating big armies. But you must remember your own weapon by mistakes can hurt you. Because you cannot be perfect all the time. Your own soldier by mistake can turn against you. We have seen that. So just think about it. Let's go back to the Russian nation. Russia has been doing so well. Until now, they're deciding to push it to a distraction. That's how they play their game. They create something to create a panic, so that the government can be heard as a bad one. So that people can start to see Russia as a bad country, as bad people. President Putin has been a role model to many countries in Africa, which for so many years, for so decades, None of you has have become the role model in Africa like President Putin. Russian nation mean no harm to Africa. Everybody knows that. In contrary, they even want Africa to be independent. Those are the facts Europe and America doesn't want to see. So the idea of Russia is threatening them because they want us, the European and the American want us African always to be slave in everything, to consume everything they give us. And what we always consume from them is the leftover. So when they see us like less human. When they talk to us, they look at us so down that we mean nothing. But the resource of our countries does a lot of contribution for their development. Even there, they still don't see us like full human. Our prosperity is a problem for them. So we must just keep suffering, being in pain, insecure, so that we can always seek for them. When we see them, we see a demigod in our continent. But which is true. In some reason is true. Because if you look at what is happening in Africa, Africans don't love one another. But when European or American come in the middle, is well treated like a demigod. You'll never hear a phobic attack in European people in Africa, or the American in Africa has been attacked by the Africans. It's always African attack other Africans. It's always black killing black. It's always African killing other fellow Africans. Are we animals? Is it the reason why the European and the American treat us like animals or treat us like less people, less human beings? Is because of our behavior? Is it because of our thinking? Is because of how we see one another, how we treat our fellow black Africans? Because charity begins at home. If a South African sees himself more African than other Africans, it's a problem. Because as Africans living in South Africa, we have a lot of challenge to face. Even when we say we are proud to be African, but in other countries we're not proud to be Africans. Let's be open. Let's be open. Let's not pretend. It's not only the challenge in South Africa, but it's most of African countries. Go to Libya. Black have been treated like slave, not like slave. Black are slave in Libya. Those who are trying to cross the Mediterranean using the route via Libya, they are paying prices. They have been sold to the merchant. Other merchants are buying black people as slaves. The question is why black people don't like black. Is it in our DNA? Is it because we are not meant to be united? Or is it a syndrome we have in our heart and our brain that always pushes us to kill one another? I remember in one of my videos, I say, sometimes we must stop blaming white people. The problem is not with them. The problem is with ourselves. Because as Africans, we are very good in blaming others, even when it's our own fault. We live our life by blaming, always blaming. Whatever we do, if we fail, it's always a way to blame. Other is the weather, other is because of him, or other because of that. That as African, we cannot face our challenge. And if we cannot face our challenge, we will never go forward. While others are working, as we are good killing one another. Remember, unity is not for one nation. Unity is for the continent. When the continent are united, no one can break it. And this is what the Europeans are doing. That's why they remain powerful for centuries. We're more popular than them, but they are more powerful than us. What makes them powerful? Unity. This is what we don't have in Africa. Every country stands for himself. The only time they talk about Pan-Africanism, only when they're having fun. Let's look at Mali. What the Malian citizens have done, everybody was supposed to support them in Africa. But there we see always the white African in a black skin compromising the wrong side, giving sanctions. So they're playing the same role like the EU. If you're against what they are asking, they give you sanction. When do we think Africa will unite? because it's not going to happen now. And the way I see it, not even our children will unite it, because when you look at the mind of our children, what we think is what we feed our children. Some countries are well known for aggressions. There's some nation in Africa, they are very aggressive. Some nation in Africa are very aggressive, and that aggression, you can even see it from the children also. When you just see the way the child is behaving, you can see that there's a power of aggression on the child. So from the parents to the children, what is it going to happen? This is my country, you cannot come here. Look at the Europeans. Look what is happening in Ukraine. Everybody have given their full support. You will never see that in Africa. Impossible. You're just gonna hear, yeah, let them kill themselves. Yeah, go back to your country, go and fight there. Why don't you help your brother so that he can go and fight? You see what is happening in Ukraine today. They didn't expect that. So you cannot see what is behind the wall. You can only see what is in front of you. The future is something unpredictable. Today you're eating honey. Today you're having meat on the table. But the next day you might not know if you're still gonna be able to afford. If you can, so be blessed for that. Life teaches us a lot. And life shows us a lot. And if you cannot learn from that, especially remember where you come from. If you can remember where you come from, you will know where you're standing. And if you can know where you're standing, you'll have a thought for the next day to come. Ignorance is a disease. I repeat, ignorance is a disease. And that disease doesn't have a cure. Just remember that. Whatever you do, there's always a price for it. If you do good, surely along the way, you'll receive it back. It can come in different forms, but you'll receive it back. If you do bad, there should be a price for it also. Just remember that. Being aggressive doesn't make you a strong person. But a person who thinks twice, the person who always balances move, never go wrong. If we want this Africa to be strong, do not look at yourself, look at your neighbor. Because by accepting your neighbor, your neighbor will be there for you. One way or another, we cannot survive without our neighbors. If you think you can survive without your neighbor, then I'm telling you, my brother, you have to seek for wisdom. If you see or you think you can do well without your neighbor, then you have a problem with yourself. My presence have a meaning. Because when your eyes can see me, it's already a contribution to your life. At least you can recognize yourself as a human. Because without a reflection of yourself, you can end up doubting yourself. Because there can be a time your mind can tell you, am I really human? Do I really look like others? That's the question you'll ask yourself. If you don't see a reflection of yourself, which meaning, if there's no other people like you around you, you can end up confusing yourself. The story of a boy who grew up in a jungle with animals started to think that he was also one of the animals. He was one of them until someone took him to the city, and then he looked at himself in the mirror. Then he realized, this is my real people. This is what we are missing as Africans. This is what we are missing. But anyway, let's keep it for next time. And this is what I had for today as my contribution to the world. For those who will understand, those who will take my advice, be blessed and prosper. Remember, we should all be happy, and none of Creator should be in any misery. So it should be well with all of us. We should let the peace run amongst us so that we can live in prosperity and unity. Where there's a unity, you cannot break those people. The only reason why we are being break all the time is because we are not united people. If we can start to be united, many of us will see the difference. We'll be also one of the top citizens of the world. You see the Chinese, everywhere they go, when they meet each other, they stand for each other. For those who haven't watched me yet and haven't subscribed, please press the button and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Until next time.